Okay, so it's recording.
You wanna come?
Yeah, she'll come. Alright, good. So you had a good rest last night?
I did. I think I went to bed at like 9:30 and then I slept until
that's
like
good.
I slept
What,
until
7?
like 7:30, 8.
Yeah, good rest.
Yeah, so good. I was so
Would
tired.
you like some rapid now?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
What was the one you were telling me about yesterday at the store? You said there's like the
Oh,
Yaganawa
the
tribe.
female empowerment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yawanawa tribe. So
Yeah.
that's a female empowerment, specific one.
Yeah.
That's the specific one that we use. You know, I have it here.
That's at your store too, though. In Pisa.
Yeah, it's in the store too.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
but you can get from us here. That's
Oh,
purely
you have
for
it
women.
too.
Yeah,
I
have it.
can
Yeah.
buy- Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, before you go, just
Yeah,
remind me.
okay.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
That's a white rose.
Oh, okay.
Just a second. Okay. Connection to the big trees, mother tree of all trees, the water trees. Okay,
I'm crying.
it's okay. These are good tears anyway. You know. All right. So, well, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So, thank you for coming to have a
Oh.
chat.
Thank you for having me.
You know, usually we do it at the end of the journey, but Saturday is going to be a bit busy for us. So I didn't want to kind of stress you out, and me too, you know, kind of to
Yeah.
fit it all in. So we have time today, we can just talk today.
Okay.
So, let me
Beautiful.
just see if it's recording,
Okay.
just to be sure. Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, you know, just share about, like, briefly about your path
Yeah.
and how you ended up here. What brought you here? Let's start from that.
What brought me here to Huachuma Wasi?
Yeah, to Huachuma Wasi.
Well, let's start at the beginning.
Yeah, what do you want?
Well, I was brought to Peru because, as I mentioned, like, I received a vision last August while I was sitting on a mountain in California, in Northern California, at the water. And
What mountain?
Mount Shasta.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I was sitting at this sacred stream there with a few dear friends. And we had been kind of in ceremony in this group gathering, and there was this beautiful energy, you know, that we were kind of swimming in. And then being at that water was just a really deep experience. You know, no plant medicine, nothing, just being there, you know, connecting with the earth and the
Yeah, it's
mountain.
nature is medicine.
Yeah. And so as we're sitting there, I'm introducing myself to the water, and I'm asking it, can you help me remember? Just whatever that means, like, can you just help me remember what's mine to be, what's mine to do, anything, you know? If you have anything to share with me, reflecting, I'm here to receive it. I'm
Talking
here.
to the mount.
To the mountain, to the
And to the
water,
stream.
to the water. But the mountain, I mean, it's all connected, you know. And as I'm sitting there, and my friends are singing to the land, and I'm hearing it kind of sing back and asking this question, I see this vision of a mountain. It's like a perfect kind of like triangle, you know. And I don't know what the mountain is, but I just know in the way that when you see things, sometimes you get this knowing, oh, that's in Peru. You know, and under the mountain there was this little little house, little kind of very small, maybe like one room house, you know, with the kind of thatched roof that I've seen here since I've been actually, but I hadn't seen before.
Like Elf's house.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a doorway, and in the doorway was my great grandmother, who was curandera, Quechua curandera. And I had seen her before very briefly in visions, but a bit elusive, and I was kind of been reaching for her before that. But now I saw her like very clearly, and she's like, come in, you know, and she's so happy. And so I go inside this house, and she serves me some soup, and she's dancing and singing and so happy, and she says, you have to come here, you have to come to this mountain. And I'm like, okay. You know, she's like, you have to come here, and I understood it like physically. I have to physically go, you know. And she said, when you come, like, you'll get more information. She wouldn't tell me anything else, but she was just so happy to have me. And she said, and you'll get signs along the way. You'll get signs, you know. And
You'll be guided.
You'll be guided, you know. And she said there will be a specific sign, you know. I was like, okay, but she wouldn't say what the sign was, you know. And just like that, it kind of came in, kind of left. Yeah,
that's the whole point of the sign.
But
they don't tell you what the sign is. You have to recognize the sign.
But then as I was sitting there cross-legged, you know, the vision kind of comes out, and then I feel this little thing on my thigh, you know, and I look down, and there's this fat little bee, this little bumblebee, kind of like playing on my leg, and I was like, okay, and I realized that the bees have sort of been, for quite a number of years, kind of been a guide or teacher for me in other ways. So I always have paid attention to them, and I just kind of understood, okay, I think it's bees. I think I need to just be mindful, notice the bees when they appear. And so that was 9 months ago. And then through that 9 months, it's been just a series of like, you know, researching, understanding. I mean, that night, actually, I went to research, and what is this mountain that I saw? And the distinguishing feature was like that it's a triangle, very, very triangular, and then I could see like the landscape behind. And I realized it was a rainbow mountain, you know. It didn't look like the Instagram pictures with all the colors. So I was a bit confused at first because it was very muted colors. But I recognized it was Rainbow Mountain. It was just probably what it actually looks like, or, you know, in fog.
Oh, it's very colorful.
It is, but
in real life.
It was, you know, the pictures you see online are very edited, a lot of them.
Yeah, through filters, but still, the colors are there.
Yeah.
The Rainbow Mountain really looks like what you see, just not as bright, maybe, but it's colorful.
So I could tell it was Rainbow Mountain, so I was like, okay. So now I know where to go. And then as far as when to go, I learned about Koyoriti, which is celebrating the Pleiades. And there had been a lot of links to the Pleiades through some of other ceremonies I've been in the U.S., and just hearing it from people there, and then my friends in Aotearoa in New Zealand that have spoken of the Pleiades, and just recognizing this link. And so I thought, okay, maybe that's the time to go, is in May, when the Pleiades come back into the sky here too, you know, and there's that festival. So now I knew when, I knew where, and then as far as plant medicine and Huachuma Wasi, I didn't realize until maybe a month and a half before coming.
Actually coming.
Yeah, and I had seen a video of yours online. Before that, yeah, and I don't remember the video. It was like somebody interviewing you, or you're walking around, giving a tour or something, and
Or maybe the documentary.
Maybe it was, yeah, but I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember much about it, except that something you said like sparked me, and so I looked up. You had mentioned your book, so I looked up your book, and I just had it on my laptop. You know, I had like 30 tabs open, and then like a week after that, I returned to the tabs to kind of clean up my thing, and I was like, oh yeah, what was this book? I forget what made me come across this book, but I just hit purchase. I was like, oh, for some reason I wanted to investigate this, and so I'll read it someday. You know, and. Yeah, and so the book arrived, it's sitting on my table. And
That's Path.
This Path, yeah, the first one. And as I'm preparing for this trip and trying to organize, like, what am I going to do? You know, I thought I had it figured out, sort of, but my plans were falling through. And I thought maybe I'd go on this kind of spiritual tour, that I met this woman through some other people. It felt very aligned, but then the tour itself was too long. The dates didn't match up. It was not going to go where I wanted to go. The vision told me to go. I was going to do something else, and it sounded amazing, but I had to decide, you know, do I do that, or do I just honor what I saw? And so I was a bit, you know, bummed out because it was kind of all falling through. So as it's falling through, you know, I'm on my phone, like, you know, kind of looking at this tour, and I was like, oh man, it's not gonna work out. You know, what am I gonna do for this first week that I'm in Peru? And then I look over, and at that moment, I see your book on my table. And I was like, oh yeah, because it had just arrived. Right there. Yeah, and I was like, oh,
clear sign.
What is this book? You know, oh, okay, yeah, I remember I bought this book. I didn't even remember it was really about plant medicine or anything. So I picked it up, and I looked you up again, and I was like, oh, okay, Huachuma Wasi, and oh, okay, it's in the Sacred Valley. Wow, okay, maybe this is where I'm supposed to go. And then I just, you know, went to the website and kept looking, and kind of realized that I was being led here first, and that it would make sense with my great grandmother being a curandera to lead me first to the medicine of the Andes, to connect to the nature, and to start in this way. And so, and then when I reached out to you, you were so like helpful with orienting me to like what was possible during my stay here and everything. And so I just felt like, okay, this is it, you know. And then it kind of, my whole like trip made sense. It was a well-rounded like journey that
it's a beautiful intro.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I came here.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's very much in line with actual new video that I just made last night.
About intuition, you were saying a little.
Yeah. How important is it to follow your calling, your intuition, your instincts? You know.
Yeah, that's
just very important. It's like basically that's what I was doing all my life.
Yeah.
And that brought me here, where I am today. It's just that.
Yes.
You know, so I can't stress enough the importance of that.
Yeah.
To people, like this is what you follow.
Yeah.
You know, people looking for guides and teachers outside of themselves.
Yeah.
Which of course there is place and time for that too.
Yeah.
But the main guide, it's really within yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that's the point. If you wake it up, it's just there for you to serve, you know.
Yeah, that's true. And it's like, it's such a practice too, getting
it's a practice for sure.
Yeah.
Following, listening, listening, following.
Yeah.
It's a discipline.
It
but
is,
you just have to trust it.
Yes. And
if you trust it, then you grow.
Yeah.
You grow these muscles.
Yes.
It's like if you're like external muscles, like you know, you go to gym and it just grows.
Yes.
Same thing exactly with intuition. That's how you grow. That's the only way to actually expand.
Yeah.
You know, by following it.
Yeah.
By practicing this.
Yeah, and that's the practice of this whole experience of to getting here, and then through being here as well has been practicing that. Like even just those moments, like when I had this decision of do I go on this kind of beautiful tour with this woman? This feels like it could be very aligned, or do I honor what I saw and what the kind of directive was and what I knew was mine to do, you know, or do I kind of follow someone else? Like kind of what you're saying, right?
That's
like,
actually, you know, exactly the point of this whole journey.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of subliminal in a sense. It's not like in front of yourself. It's not like I have to do this, I have the vision, I have to connect, you know, all this is important.
Yeah.
Everything you say is important.
Yeah.
But like behind all this, like personally what I see in it is that.
Yeah.
It's more important than meeting me, going to Coyorite, going to Rima Mountains.
Yes.
It's just following your vision. It's making this decision.
Yeah.
What you just described. Do I go with that?
Yes.
Which looks good, and you know, or I just follow my vision, follow my heart. That's what the medicine is.
Yes.
What's now? It's all kind of already the unfolding of that. It's the consequences of the decision.
Yeah.
But what's important really is that you decided to follow your vision and stay true to it.
Yes.
That's where the medicine. That's the real medicine right there.
Yeah.
The rest is the consequences. You are now living through the consequences of the decision, which is great.
Yeah.
It just shows you that it was the right decision.
Yes.
You know, kind of confirming, but this is where it is.
Yeah.
It's
that feels
because
true.
if you wouldn't, you would feel bad about this.
Totally.
And you would learn. It's like you might have a great journey with other people there, you know?
Yeah.
And they would do, you know, whatever they do, and
Yeah.
you would still think like, okay, that was good, but inside you would not be content. You would not be satisfied because you would kind of feel that you betrayed yourself.
Yes, and it's that.
And that's not a good feeling.
No, not at all. And I was sensing that
You know?
too, you know. And for me, like trusting my inner instinct and trusting
Yeah.
that intuition. I mean, you know, I'm an artist. I've been doing music and theater and these different creative practices for many years, and so there's a deep element of intuition in all those practices. But even so, just the programming I got early on was to be very distrustful of my own experience, you know, and to not quite trust what I see, what I hear, what I know.
That's the
You know?
sickness that
Yeah.
must be cured.
Yes.
That's exactly
Yeah, and so
the
this
problem.
process is that
Is
what
the
you're
healing.
speaking to is the healing
Is
of
the
opening
healing
that
of
up,
that
of
mistrust of
fortifying-
yourself.
Yeah, fortifying the inner resources,
Yes.
and just being like, you know, I was a little thrown off when I first received the vision, really, because I mean, I hadn't been here before. I don't speak amazing Spanish. I can get by a little bit, but not very good, you know. And so I
And
was,
it's your first time traveling outside of
and
the
it's
US?
not outside of the U.S., but my first time doing it alone.
Okay.
And I hadn't done that before, so that was a little nerve-wracking as well, you know, because I was going to go with a couple of friends, and then for various reasons they couldn't come, and then it just became clear.
Just more tests.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more challenge.
It was a test, really.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're still going to go if you don't
Yeah,
have somebody to
exactly.
go with you. And then I was like, that's what I'm supposed to do, you know. And there's
It's
nerves
more
that come
resistance
up.
to overcome. That's
Yeah.
exactly how it works.
Yes, exactly. And
You know.
to just trust that what I saw was what I saw, and and yeah, and reprogramming that story, you know, reframing that story, you know, that I got really early on, if you can.
Yeah, reshaping yourself
Yeah. And building that deep trust, like, that's very important.
with yourself.
Yeah, so that's
That's the real medicine.
that's a medicine.
That's
Absolutely.
medicine for sure.
Yeah. And it's a practice, because like you're saying, there's these tests, you know, there's these situations where you can choose, you know, a little fork
opportunity
in the
presents
road.
itself, and then
Yeah.
you decide: do you want to overcome and grow, or
Yeah.
you just, you know, get scared and you just remain where you are,
Right.
and then wait for another opportunity
Right.
when it comes.
Yeah.
You know?
And so much of the mind as well, like, as I was kind of figuring out, okay, what is the mountain? What am I going to do? You know, so much of the mind trying to do the solving and the mind instructing the heart a bit. But it needs to be the other way around, you know, is how I feel, you know, the heart leads,
Instructing the mind.
and then the mind comes in to
support it.
to support. But
Yeah.
when it's led from the mind, and the heart's just trying to get on board with whatever the mind is sort of like, you know, critically thinking and figuring out, you know, that's not really going to lead you in the direction of your soul. That's going to lead you in the direction of your
Of the mind.
Of the mind, you know.
Yeah. You just described the sickness of the Western civilization.
Yes.
That's why people are
I see that.
unhappy
Yeah.
in the modern world,
Absolutely.
especially in the West.
Right.
It's different here. People here are more heart-centered,
Yeah.
you know. But in the West, that's totally, you know, when the mind took over
Yeah.
and everything else got suppressed.
Yeah.
So you make decisions out of your mind in areas that shouldn't really be led
Yeah.
by your mind. Like, you
Right.
know, it becomes like calculation.
Yeah.
Marriages and careers, and it's like everything is become a calculation.
Yeah.
It's no longer real.
Yeah.
It's just become more like a convenience thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When you really lead your life from your heart, that's
Yeah.
how you maintain happiness.
Yeah.
Because you just follow
Yeah.
what you want
Right.
to do. And that can be a partner, it can be, you know, a career, it can be spiritual path, whatever.
Yeah.
But people lead their lives from their heads
Yeah.
and completely disregard their hearts, which is the real thing.
Yeah.
That's where
That's
the
the real
real
compass.
it's a real compass
Yeah.
that shows you, hey,
Yeah.
you know, don't go there, go there. But you're not listening to it.
Yeah.
You know, you're just listening to your mind, which can be, you know, easily conditioned by external factors.
Absolutely.
You know, that's where the term brainwashing comes from.
Right. Right.
There is no heart washing.
Yes.
Nobody says that.
That's true.
Like, it's a brainwashing.
That's
so somebody
true.
can brainwash you into something like social, you know, just people, society. You can be just, you know, brainwashed into narrative. You know, but you can be heart-washed. It's like your heart knows the truth.
Yeah.
It's just like it knows. It's like it's the right and wrong. It knows what it is. But if you are like centered in your head, you might just be disconnected from your heart and you just don't hear the voice. So you don't really know what's right or wrong. You've just been led.
Right.
You know, so the whole point of the medicine is to bring you down from your head into your heart, to open up so you can feel the path.
Yeah.
And then when you follow it, your mind just comes and helps.
Right.
Like there is no contradiction. Like I have no contradiction between my heart and mind. They are, it's like different functions, but they are one. It's like I feel what I think, and I think what I feel.
Yeah.
And I say what I think,
It's
and it's
using
like
the
it's
tools.
vice versa. You know?
Yeah.
It's all like it's all aligned with your purpose, with everything.
Yeah.
You know, but that's many years of medicine to come to that point. You know, before it was just confusion. You know.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is it's a real thing.
Yeah, and it's a practice that then kind of reinforces itself, because when you take those little steps, whether it's like you know, sometimes I'll be walking. The other day, actually here, I was walking and I had a bit of a headache, and I was looking around, and then I saw this flower and a bunch of this same type of flower, and all of a sudden I just had this intuitive like, oh, pick that flower and smell it and put it around your, you know, here. And so I was like, you know, my head was like, well, that doesn't really make sense. Like, why would you do that? You know, but I was like, no.
Yeah, you're analyzing. It's analytical mind. It's like you're analyzing everything.
But it's like, well, what is making sense, right? If the mind says, oh, that doesn't make sense, it's like, well, why does the mind say that? Like, if from a heart space, I was like, you know, just intuitively, like, what's the harm? So I picked it and I smelled it and I put it here, and it did help my headache. Like, it really did. I don't know.
Before you came home.
Yeah.
It was on the way from the ceremony.
It was,
right?
no, it was on our off day.
Oh,
I had a little bit of a headache because I think I'd been dehydrated, you know, and I was just walking through Kalka. Yeah, and I did it, and it helped, and it kind of, so like having, that's just a tiny little micro moment, you know,
little example.
Yeah, but having those moments, like, they add up because they reinforce and prove to yourself that, yeah, when I do follow the impulse, it doesn't have to make sense in the mind way. It makes sense in the heart way, and you see, oh yeah, that flower did help. Okay, you know, so I know something deep in here that's kind of beyond mind, and I can follow that, and that will lead me, you know, and the practice.
So based on that, what would be the future practice when that happened again? How would you react
to that?
Yeah, to your calling, when you feel something that your heart tells you to do, and then your mind analyzes. How would you respond to your mind analyzing or telling you no?
Quiet it, you know, try to quiet it, because it's like listening to this first, listening to the heart first, instead of listening to the mind first. Like, whereas, you know, a while back, a couple years back, before I was, you know, starting to try this practice more, maybe I would have listened to the mind first. I would have been like, yeah, that doesn't make sense in my mind way, so, you know, I'll just leave the flower there, you know. But, you know, listening to the heart space, then it kind of reinforces to yourself to trust what that voice is, that inner knowing, these other ways of knowing that aren't the mind way of knowing. It's these other ways of knowing, or these other ways of seeing or hearing, you know. And those are really, really important to cultivate. I think especially now with like all the emerging technology that's coming out, with all of the distraction and the screens, and I mean, beautiful tools that can be used in beautiful ways, and tools that can be used to hijack our imaginations, you know, that can tell us what to think, how to imagine, not to imagine our own world or our own reality, but to just fall into the imagination of someone else or something else, you know. And that's not always going to lead you to what's best and highest for you, or what's going to allow you to share your medicine, whatever that medicine is, whatever those gifts are, you know. So I think the ripples, the implications are much wider, and it's really kind of important for each of us individually to really cultivate that intuition in whatever that means. It will be different for different people. I'm sure it's not going to come to them the way it comes to me, but
People are different, but the principle is the same.
The same principle.
You know,
Yeah.
it's the same.
Yeah. And I think people are realizing that. You know, I think, you know, a lot of conversations I have with friends, perhaps it's the time of life I'm at, or just the friends that I have, or the way that the collective is a bit, feeling a bit chaotic, especially in the United States, you know.
I would say a lot.
Yeah. Like maybe all of it, you know. You know, I think more and more people are kind of waking up to that.
Well, they're looking for guidance, because there is no guidance.
Right.
Who are you referring for guidance in life?
Yeah.
Fake gurus?
Yeah.
Same self-proclaimed spiritual leaders and teachers, presidents,
Right.
priests. Who?
Yeah.
Who are your teachers?
Yeah.
Like, that's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And people, I think, begin to understand that perhaps none of them. Perhaps
or maybe
they
they
are
have their
not.
place, right? And you can take what you need to take, but
You
maybe
know.
not just blindly follow.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you still can learn from people.
Of course, yeah.
But the ultimate guide is your conscience, is the inner being,
Yeah.
is the intuitive voice
Yeah.
of your heart.
Yeah.
That's your ultimate. That's the whole point. You know, the real reason behind all this guruism is that it just probably was forgotten. It's like the
To
real
lead
one,
you to
yeah,
yourself,
to lead
yeah.
you to yourself for sure. It's like, okay, I have more light than you. You know, my candle is bigger and brighter. Okay, come, I'll show you the path.
Right. I'll help light your candle.
Yeah, exactly. I light your candle, and then you walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, it's not exactly how it works
Right.
in real life. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, I got a candle, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm not lighting yours.
Yeah.
You just follow mine.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, that's how it turned
Yes.
to be. So, if there is a real teacher, would do exactly that.
Yes. Yes.
Will help you
That's a
see,
really good
open your
distinction.
vision, your eyes, and then you walk.
Right.
I mean, we still can be friends
Yeah. Yeah.
after that, but you walk your path,
Yeah.
and you make your own decisions, and you decide for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so that's very important. So that's a real reason why you need a teacher
Yeah.
to help you see, to teach
Yeah.
you. It's like the concept of teacher-student is good. It's like
It
we
is.
go to school, okay?
Yeah.
You know, we're kids, we go to school, they teach us something.
Right.
All right, that's there's nothing wrong with it. Or
Yeah.
parents teaching children.
Right.
Of course, we have more wisdom of life, we teach. That's fine, but at some point, children have to be, you know, allowed
Yeah.
to live their own life.
Yeah. And
So-
set up with
and
the
the
inner
same,
resources.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Rely on themselves.
Yeah.
So it's the same in spirituality.
Yeah.
It's like there is a time for that teacher-student relationship, but it's you know, at some point you just, you know,
Yeah.
decide for yourself. I mean, it's still okay to walk together and share things, and you know, especially if there is a good connection and you like the person.
Yeah.
But you're kind of living your own life within
Yeah.
that, within that, you know. So you're not, you know, sweeping ashram for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the problem is. You know.
Yeah. And the intention, I guess, behind what is the intention of the education or of the teaching?
Well, to
is it
teach you to be independent.
right, as opposed to teach you to be a disciple or to be
Exactly.
a follower forever, just
Forever.
for blind. You know what I mean? Blind
Yeah,
faith.
of
kind
course,
thing.
blind
Which
faith.
I'm sure you know. Like you know much more than I do because
Of course,
your
I'm
story.
ex-cult
Yeah,
member. I've seen
yeah.
that firsthand. You know,
Yeah.
it's in my first book.
Yeah.
You know, I hate this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to this. You know, so that's what I'm trying to. One of the things I'm trying to share with people here
Yeah.
is that independence. Is
Yeah.
that, you know, questioning. You just have to question everything I say too.
Yeah.
You know, don't just take it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Sergey said that. Okay, let me think about this.
Yeah.
If that resonates,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it doesn't. You know, questioning is a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
That's how you really find understanding. When you just follow it blindly, then you know there is no understanding there. It's just, you just follow.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not right.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm teaching my children. So you have to question, like, question everything, question reality, question paradigm, narratives. You
Yeah.
know, religions and beliefs. Question for yourself and like just see if that makes sense to you. And if
Yeah.
it doesn't, you kind of, you know where to put it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and plants as teachers, you have I don't know, is it a chapter in one of your books that's called this? And I'd heard this before. We worked at an apothecary for a few months, and we used to have this printed on some of our materials. It's follow plants, not gurus.
Yeah, it's in my chapter.
Yeah,
it's
right.
in my new
your
books.
It's in the new one, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just love that quote because I think
I
about
think
it
it's
a
from
lot.
Terence McKenna.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like it so much.
I
so
love
use
that.
it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's really, a deep truth to that, and that plants have like a deep wisdom. Whether it's drinking the medicine and having ceremony, or it's just like connecting with a tree, like really deeply tuning into
Nature. That's what I
it's
say.
like that will teach you about relationship. That will teach you about
Not life.
life.
How being life.
Yeah.
Nature is the medicine. It's like
Yeah, it
the
is.
sacred plants are the catalysts. They open you up. They
Yeah.
just completely open your consciousness so you
Yeah.
can learn from
Yeah.
nature,
Yeah.
But for therapeutic purposes, you can just spend time in nature.
Absolutely.
It's like
yeah.
I just kind of feel better.
Yeah, I mean, we
Like,
even
you
have
know?
sayings around that, like, I need to go clear my head, you need to go
Oh,
for a walk.
exactly.
Right? It's like
That's exactly
we
right.
naturally have the impulse
Yeah.
to seek out.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
nature
it's exactly
and-
right. It's
yeah.
like it's intuitive. Like
Yeah.
okay, and exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Walk in the woods, feel better.
Yeah.
But that is the medicine. That
It
can be
is.
your daily medicine.
Absolutely.
You just need to kind of organize your life in a way that there will be room for that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like if you're stuck in a city,
yeah,
it's like, and you see nature once a month, if that,
mm-hmm.
what kind of mental health are you expecting?
yeah, mm-hmm.
It's just there isn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's only stress, only anxiety, only rushing into things. It's just, that's what you get, a chaos.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
a chaos of a city life. That's the real matrix right there.
Mm-hmm.
You need to unplug from that
Mm-hmm.
and move into nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least spend more time there.
Yeah.
Like if you cannot make it like a permanent base,
Yeah.
which would be ideal
Mhm.
for your mental health, for spiritual connection.
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot do it for some reason, job, families, like if you are too tight,
Yeah.
then at least you organize your life in a way
Mm-hmm.
that you make more room for that.
Yes.
To maintain your sanity, to maintain your well-being.
Yeah.
This is where it is.
Yeah.
Forget therapists.
Mm.
This is the best therapy.
Mhm.
Nature is the best, is the ultimate therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Go console it. Go visit it.
Mhm.
Go be there.
Mm-hmm.
Just walk around, sit in silence.
Mm-hmm.
Sit by the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
That's the medicine.
Yeah.
That's why I'm teaching people here.
Mm-hmm.
The lifestyle, of course, with the medicine, we are, taking it to a very deep level.
Yeah.
But the lifestyle,
Yeah.
it's like, it's how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
Take it, go home, and do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have beautiful forests in Northern California.
Yeah.
I love the pine trees.
And I love it.
It's the best nature there.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
I love that. When I lived there, I loved it.
And I live in
All this Lake Tahoe area, and not just Lake
yeah,
Tahoe, it's even farther. It's very beautiful there, but just where I was in Sacramento, you just go a little bit north, you have all these trees and beautiful forests and lakes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the best time in California I spent there.
Yeah.
It's not being in San Francisco, it's not being in Sacramento, it's being in those lakes and pine trees and contemplating and taking psychedelics there. So, it's like that's the best memories
Yeah.
of my life in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what kept me sane, actually.
Yeah. And I live in a city, a big city, and
Which city is that?
in Oakland.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it feels very city, and I work
Yeah, it's city for
part-time
sure.
in San Francisco, and so
Yeah, it's city for sure.
very city. But so I agree that like getting into nature, and there's a lot of nature even in the city, that you can go and visit.
It's
There's
still different.
redwoods. You can get away.
It's still you have the cars and the drives and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have the silence.
Yeah, you can get
You need to kind
get
of-
into the hills though, and kind of
Outside.
escape. And
Yeah,
You
that's
just
good.
drive a bit,
Yeah.
but it's important to. I also feel that like it is important to have that energy in the city, like to bring it back into the city, because I don't think the cities are like these doomed places necessarily. You need the the medicine from nature in the cities too, and kind of
Yeah,
people
that would be
that
good.
live in the city that are kind of holding it down. Just, I don't know if that's the right phrase,
Just
but
walk in the park.
that are still bringing that in, and bringing that kind of life, that kind of nature energy back to where they live, to circulate that, if that
In
makes
San
sense.
Francisco, it's nice. You have the Golden Gate Bridge and then the
Yeah.
hills around. And I love to spend time there.
Yeah, and there's a lot
You
of,
see
I
the
mean, there's not
sunset there.
Tamalpais in the north. There's, a lot, even the bay, like going next to the bay water.
Yeah, it's a lovely
There's-
place, actually.
There's a lot of ways to tap in, So yeah, just
Escape routes. in the
yeah,
big city,
escape
you
route.
know.
So you can live in the city and still be connected, or not feel like totally overtaken by the energy. But it is like a conscious decision you have to make. Like, okay, I'm gonna go and take time.
Yeah,
now.
of course.
It's not
Well, you
just
have to
like,
understand that this is the medicine.
yeah.
If you understand that this is your medicine, you just do it.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
this is my medicine. I'm making the time for this. I'm making the
Yes.
space for this.
Yes.
Consciously.
Yeah.
It has priority over anything else.
Yeah.
This is my well-being,
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing. People just don't understand what's happening there. My cats are
That's goles.
okay. Golis. That's a cat. That's cats.
I don't know, he's there too. Maybe a cat as well.
Okay.
He's playing.
So you have to understand what is your medicine. That's
Yeah.
very important. When you
Yeah.
understand that, you prioritize that.
Yeah.
That's it. The problem is people don't know what's their medicines,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
and then they kind of jumping from things to things, and most of it is just poison.
Yeah.
Actually, all of it.
Yeah.
Alcohol, drugs.
Yeah.
It's like it's all poison. It's all bad for you. It's not helping you, but it's harming you. It's taking you down.
Yeah. I think so many of us look for a way to escape.
Yeah, it's escape
because
routes,
it
but
feels-
these are not a good escapes routes.
No, it's not. But
You know?
it's a kind of socially acceptable one, and it's one that is
That doesn't
easy.
make it right.
No. But
You
I
know?
just think that's why so many. But the impulse behind why people, use these other substances is from wanting to escape whatever is feeling misaligned about maybe their life, the system, that they're
It's what
in.
you have. It's
Yeah.
it's what you have in the matrix.
Yeah, those are the tools that
That's
you,
are the tools.
that
Okay,
you,
you
cannot-
want to
yeah.
relax and distress, drink alcohol.
Yeah, yeah,
That's like the worst decision
Yeah.
you can actually have.
yeah,
It's just to take this poison,
Yeah.
that makes the things only worse because you're not really fixing anything in
yeah,
your life.
yeah,
You're just forgetting about this for a while, and then you feel horrible the next day.
yeah,
That's not a good tool for me. That's not a good solution.
yeah,
Nothing has changed
yeah,
from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what society provides.
right,
So you have to look outside of it. You have to look
Yes.
outside of what society kind of approves as your medicines.
right.
It's like, okay, let's see what's there. Is it all there is, or there is more? And that's how you look into indigenous cultures,
Yeah,
natives, like how they were living
yeah,
thousands of years ago and still live today, and they seems to be a lot happier than us. How you explain it? Even though their level of poverty is actually they live below level of poverty. Many of them, below level of poverty. It's like
Yeah.
you can't even imagine
yeah,
how poor they are.
yeah,
And yet, with all this struggle, they seems to be a lot more centered and calm and relaxed, and none of them are neurotics, like the modern people, with all the possessions, with all the money. So it's like, okay, why is that? It's like we have all the stuff, they don't have anything,
yeah,
and they look to be happier.
yeah,
That's was the first time when I went to Amazon in 2005. First time in Peru.
yeah,
I went to work with my teacher, Don Howard, and was ayahuasca, Huachuma there. And he was taking us to the trips to the local tribes, and that was very informative. It's like I was just looking at that. And here I am coming from America, like coming to nearly uncontacted tribes.
Yeah.
Now they're like
yeah,
more known, and they're like not walking naked there, and kind of, And I just look at them. It's like, man, I mean, you don't see any depression there, any anxiety, any neuroticism, nothing. They just calm people, calm, relaxed, doing the things, seem to live, you know. And that was a very shocking. And actually, I look at the children, and they were very happy. They didn't have any toys. They didn't have anything there. It's like they just, playing with a frog somewhere. You know what I mean? But they were like, it was a different energy. They were very in tune with the environment, very relaxed in their energy, not as you see people in the rich countries. So this is what it was then when I kind of started thinking about these things, like, financial thing, money, materialism, everything that we are like striving, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, it's good we live in this system. We need that. So I'm not against that. I'm for that. But not as the goal of your life. It's a medium, it's a tool. Absolutely, But it's not why I'm alive.
Right.
To make money. I make money to pay for things and to make life better for me, for my family, for people. But it's not the goal. Because obviously those people don't have any money.
Right.
And they're happier than any people, the older people I met actually. I saw in those Indians more happiness than I saw happiness in lawyers, business people, psychiatrists, psychologists, all the professionals that I met in America. You can't even put them in the same. This is like, you know what I mean? Like neurotics, happy.
Yeah.
Rich, poor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a very striking, contrast when you see more, when you kind of get out of your culture. Get out of the box kind of things, and you see other. That's why I encourage people to travel.
Yeah.
It's very important because it kind of opens you up, and you see how other people live, and you kind of have more information to kind of put together and understand reality,
Yeah.
But when you're stuck in one place and you don't know other places, like, where do you go? You have your priest, you have your doctor, and that's it. And you have your medications, and you have your alcohols and drugs. Like, that's it. That's what you have. That's what you really know in the city.
Yeah.
It's like, this is your spirituality. This is your, mental health, and these are the routes kind of designated by society.
Yeah.
And if you don't look beyond that, you will never find anything.
Yeah.
You will be kind of enslaved by what they provide.
Yeah.
And usually, it's not leading very far. We know that.
Yeah.
Like, many people know that.
Yeah.
So it's important to kind of to get out of your surrounding and look around and look into indigenous cultures.
Yeah, I think there's a piece of that as well that is like, in kind of modern Western society, it's very human centric. It's like the human is the hero, the human is the conqueror of the land and the
conqueror of nature.
Yes.
Yeah, we're still doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not doing this. I love nature. I learn and heal from nature, but the scientific society, that's what they're trying to do. It's like conquering nature, drilling earth, seeing what's on another side. It's just being stupid, really. It's just being disconnected.
And I think that's part of the healing that a lot of people need is, you're saying when you see this village and the kids don't have anything, but they're content and happy. It's, they're one of the beings that are around, right? There's the nature.
And it's not like I'm promoting poverty.
I know.
I think poverty is evil. I speak about it in my books.
Yeah.
I want to elevate people from that.
Right.
But that doesn't contradict to what we said before.
Right. Yeah, just the distinction between being human-centric and being interconnected. Like, we are just one of the beings in this in this
this tapestry of life.
Exactly, as opposed to like we are at the top of this top.
It's just arrogance, just kind of childish arrogance.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us kind of get that programming because it's just the society that we're raised in, and it's like not even conscious, but it kind of when you can peel yourself away from that a little bit and start to behave like in a way of reverence for the earth, appreciating, thanking.
Well, that's shamanic practice.
Yeah, but just as a person, you just appreciating, thanking the plants or appreciating what you have, because it's just as worthy of
But you
appreciation
can't
as
do
a
it in
human.
the city because it's just not in your consciousness. That's the problem. Like what you're saying, it's like it's more shamanic approach.
Yeah.
It's already outside of the box.
Yeah.
It's already understanding. It's already being connected.
Yeah.
It's not if cemented reality, it's all you know.
Yeah.
Like where do you get that connection
Right.
from? Like, okay, plants are sacred, nature is.
Yeah.
It's like where do you get that? You don't even walk on the earth.
Yeah.
You walk on the asphalt.
Yeah.
You're not even connected to the real earth.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you
many
have to
people
go-
never left the cities,
Yeah.
big cities.
Yeah.
I was told that
Yeah.
personally. Like,
Yeah.
it's just my first time out of the city. Like, whoa,
Right.
can I sit here? Like, where's the bench? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's all your bench. Lay down on the grass.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, where do you get that from? It's like you already have to have that connection to empower
Yeah.
later.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're like all conditioned, you don't see planet. You don't even understand that you're living on the planet.
Yes. that's
You
true.
think you're living in the city, and
Yeah.
city is the planet,
Yeah.
and city is the universe.
Yeah.
There is nothing beyond that. You know what I mean? You don't understand
Yeah.
that it's actual planet
Mm-hmm.
that you live on.
Yeah.
That's shamanic approach. So what you're saying is already advanced.
Yeah, but
You need to
anybody
get to that.
can start to peel away to get that. Spending more time in nature, like
Yes.
you're saying, getting away,
That's-
bringing
yeah.
back that energy, just realizing, like,
That's the way.
I am one of many. I am a piece of this landscape. I am not above this landscape. This cat is a being just like I'm a being. This plant is a being just like I'm a being. And working, like, it's just that paradigm shift, I think, can be pretty radical. As a way
But
of
you need to
seeing the
spend
world.
in nature. You
Yeah,
need to
do.
spend time
You
in
need-
nature
yes,
to
yes.
get that energy.
Yes, you do.
It's
yeah.
like if you don't get out, if you're scared of nature, you will never get that.
Right.
You will
right.
be afraid of it. You will be like,
Right. Right.
no, I'm not going to that forest.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
bugs there. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you need to get out,
You do. Yeah.
and then just
But
it
that
will
can be
inspire
a
the thinking.
key.
It will
Yeah.
inspire.
Right.
It is the key.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying in all my books. You read most of my books, right? I mean, just two.
Two of the first
Yeah,
ones,
yeah. But it's really in all of them
Yeah,
that I speak
absolutely.
about. It's just in different ways, It's like, I bring more to the table, but this is the kind of central message, I would say. A return to nature
Yeah.
for healing and learning,
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is when you get inspired
Yeah.
to learn from this.
Yeah.
You just spend time in nature, just camp at night.
Yeah.
Just look at the stars and think, it's like this is when you really
Mm-hmm.
get the inspiration from.
It is.
That's where I get. That's always where I got inspiration from. It's nature.
Yeah.
I always love nature.
Yeah.
With psychedelics or without,
Right.
I just spent time there and I always felt great. I always felt
Yeah.
one with it and very fulfilled and content and happy. And it was always like, oh, now I need to go back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, now I have to go back to see,
Yeah.
It's that feeling. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
until next weekend. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was always was like, it's the Monday.
Mhm.
It's kind of the Monday syndrome.
Yeah.
In the city here, I don't have it.
Yeah.
Here, every day is Sunday.
Yeah.
Whether I have ceremony or not. It's like I
Yeah.
wake up in the morning, it's Sunday here.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what days are here.
Yeah.
Unless, people coming and then I have to kind of, remember when is the airport pickup.
Right. Right.
That's it. If there will be not that, it's like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we are just living in the moment here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you're saying is very important.
Yeah.
And you definitely can, influence other people to kind of help them.
Mm.
Like guys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
Come spend time with me in nature.
Mhm.
Just doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just walk,
Yeah.
talk,
Yeah.
eat together. Of course, medicine is already advanced.
Yeah.
That's like takes you to another level of connection. But even
Yeah.
without medicine, you still can have a lot of benefits out of this
Oh yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not really even saying like that everybody should leave the cities and live in the woods. I mean, that's will be ideal for their health. But even if you can just balance your life, it's already better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's still.
And that affects the city, right? Like if more people
Well,
did that,
then
that
the city would be
undoubtedly-
diluted. This stressful anxiety would be
Yeah.
diluted with
Yeah.
better energy, and then the
Exactly.
city life would be more,
Yeah.
you know,
flowy.
Yeah, more
Connected.
manageable, more
Yeah.
connected. Like,
Yeah.
okay, we're in the city, but we are not complete zombies.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the balance.
Yes.
You know, that's missing.
Yeah.
You know, so when people come here, they really like they unload that.
Yeah.
That's just
I feel that.
It's like oof.
Yeah.
Pure nature, mountains, peace and quiet, and river and medicine. It's just like,
Yeah.
you know, this is when you really understand the importance of everything we talk about and everything I write about. Basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, just simple concepts, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you have to practice it.
Yeah, it's embodied here.
Totally, it's
Yeah.
embodied knowledge.
Yeah.
It's not just theories. I'm not a theory guy. I'm a practice.
Which is another, just going back to what we were saying about the head and the heart, that's another piece of it, right? I mean, because you know, I've read a lot of books and done a lot of research. I like to go into that, you know, mental space and think about things and, you know, philosophize and all this. But then
that's not a problem.
No, it's
that's
great.
a creative thinking. It's a contemplation. You need that.
You do. But
contemplation is important.
The counterpart to it that's also very necessary that not, I mean, especially in cities and stuff, that's not always honored is the need to embody it. Like embodied learning, right? Like it doesn't have to be coming to Peru for everyone and doing the plant medicine, but just a way of processing and digesting these ideas. I think sometimes we really live in the ideas and we really live into the intellectualism. It's a safe place for a lot of us, and but there's a embodied piece, you know, that happens quite easily when you're like on the land. Whatever that land is, you know, when you're
through
in nature.
heart consciousness.
Yeah.
Embodied knowledge is through your body.
Yeah.
You know,
or
you
movement,
actually feel it.
you know, moving through things, like the body can really tell you things that the mind can't, you know. Trauma gets stuck in the body, you know, and you can reason it through your mind, you can talk it through, you can intellectualize it, but it's in your body.
That's exactly why words cannot really dig deep into your traumas. That's where therapy fails. Like even the best therapy, of course, they work to a point.
Yes,
I'm not discounting that.
Yeah.
Good therapists can help you
Absolutely.
feel better about things, but even the best therapists, they cannot reach deep enough as the medicine. It's just impossible. The best cannot, because the words are not they just can't reach to your soul. It's just like, it's kind of soothing. It has that, you know, medicinal quality to it, but when you take the medicine, you just go so much deeper into your cellular memory, to your body, that the words just can't reach that. It's not possible.
Yeah.
And that's where you heal.
Yeah, I think
You
it's
know?
like a 2, 3, 10 prong approach, you know, like the talk therapy has its place and it's beautiful.
Absolutely, you need that.
Yes, and you know, can help you break through and just kind of acknowledge and realize things. And there's something powerful about speaking out,
it's human
hearing
connection.
yourself. Yeah,
You know, and compassion. It's all like, you know, combined things.
Yes, but
which is
totally
good.
there's the
but it's not
embodied
enough.
piece. And then there's the medicine will really get you down in there and show you. You know,
and actually shift energies.
Yes.
It can
remove
actually
the stuff.
remove
Yeah.
and kind of untie this knots and it's just.
And there's other modalities too that can be very helpful. I mean, and depending on what a person's like personal like constitution is, perhaps, right? Like I'm very connected to sound, and so like something like a sound, something based in sound, like a sound bath, or like breath work, even like with the you know, using the breath. I sing, and so like that has been really really helpful for me at times. And so, you know, there's all these different, I mean, especially now there's all this access to these different ways, and so things like that can help unlock too.
Yes, of course. But that's where nature comes.
Yeah.
Nature has this.
Yeah.
It's a combination of sound therapy, light
Yes,
therapy,
that's true,
silence therapy, grounding therapy.
Yeah.
That's what we use in our ceremonies. It's all elements together in the medicine.
That's true.
That it just connects you to everything and allows you to feed yourself with healing energies from nature.
Yeah.
Together. You know, that's where the power is. That's why it's so fast. The healing is just incredible.
Yeah.
And so deep and so fast, because it's just everything at once. And wash yourself in the river.
Yeah.
It's like everything. It's just connect to all elements. You know? So that's why I'm saying nature is is the healer. It's the
Yeah.
ultimate healer. Go and make your connection with it, and find your ways in it. Whatever you do, breath work, barefoot, walking, laying down, just hugging trees, whatever is like singing to the trees, you know, or just listening to the river. It's all good. Everything you do is good. Out of the chaotic cities, out of the cars, out of the beep, noise, stress. You know, this is the energy.
Yeah.
It's the energy that everybody connects to, and it's a poison. It's just collective poison that just poisons
Yeah.
minds and bodies. So if you don't disconnect at least sometime, you'll be sick. That's what you see. People are sick.
Yeah.
Everybody's neurotic. Everybody's anxious. People's on the pills.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
Yeah.
sick society.
Yeah.
Well, that's why, guys.
Yeah.
You're not centered in nature. You know,
Yeah.
you're centered in your head, not in your heart. Disconnected from nature. Who are your teachers?
Right.
Who are your doctors?
Right.
You know, what is your medicine? What is your inspiration? That's
you
what
can
I read
find
in books.
inspiration too. Yeah, you can find inspiration too, because it opens you up to yourself, and you can find, okay,
When you open up to yourself.
yeah, you find.
Now when you're locked in
that's
your
what-
head and
yeah.
all you think about is just, I've been late
Right.
all day to everywhere. You know?
That's relatable. Yeah.
There is no inspiration there.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
Right.
So when people come here, that's my one of my intent is just to show a different lifestyle
Yeah.
that they can employ in their lives. It might not be necessarily the same, but it's like the energy of it, the spirit of it.
Yeah.
It's just the peace, calm, connection to nature. You know, it's living from the heart.
Yeah.
That's where it is. Like, take this modality
Yeah.
and, you know, try to adjust your life
Yeah.
in
Translate
a way.
it.
Yeah, translate into your life
Yeah.
and see how that works for you.
Yeah.
You know, because you know that what you did before, well, you know what that led you.
Right.
Led you to your anxiety,
Yeah.
you know, to your stress, to your fear, to your sickness. You know, I see it all the time. So try a new way,
Yeah.
which is really the old way.
Yes, exactly.
The new way is the old way.
Yeah.
You know? That's how things were done before
Yeah.
the modern era.
Yeah.
You know?
The bridging the old and the new technologies.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
I'm not against technology. I'm using technology. I'm
Of
using this
course.
camera right now to
Yeah, yeah.
record this interview, to put on
Yeah.
internet, so people can hear and see and, you know, hopefully get inspired by
Right.
this conversation.
Right. But
I'm
that's
not
what you're doing
against.
exactly. You're bridging
I'm bridging
the new
world.
technology
Yeah,
with the old technology. and
exactly. The
yeah.
old technology, which is plants,
Yeah.
with the new technology, computers, internet. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I'm not against that. I'm using all of it
Yeah, there's tools.
for the purpose.
Yeah.
I'm using as the tools. I'm using plants as the tools for consciousness to, you know, open your consciousness, and technology to broadcast that.
Yeah.
To broadcast it.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I have no contradiction.
Which is also opening consciousness. It's also in
Exactly.
service of that.
So I'm exactly. It's the technology. I make technology in service of consciousness.
Yes. Yeah.
So there is nothing wrong with anything.
No.
It's
not at
like
all.
your indulgence is the problem. Your addiction is the problem. You know, your priorities, kind of wrong priorities. That's the problem. You know, it's like if you bet on technology only, it will drive you mad.
Yeah.
It will be disconnection. It will be, you know,
Yeah.
it will be just like a kind of addiction to likes kind of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
The like is the new God. It's the
Yeah.
new God. You know, it's like all your self-esteem go up or it goes down, or you're happy or depressed. You know what I mean? People don't like your content. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it can hurt.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, if you're really putting your heart into a project that took like over a year, and then some hater, like, you know, leave you a bad review, as a first review for the book, yes, it can hurt you for a day, you know, but then you just, you just move through it, you know, it's like, it's just a confirmation that what you say is right. That's it, you know. By the way, talking about this, how was the new book for you?
Great, yeah, it was great. I was reading it before I got here a bit, and then I took it on the road and finished it.
You finished it here already?
Yeah.
In the medicine?
I think actually before our first ceremony. So right before.
That was done?
Yeah, like Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you came here, did you find the same guy?
Oh yeah.
The book?
Yeah, absolutely.
The same person?
Yeah, totally. Same. Yeah, a very mature voice in the book, and then when I met you, I was like, oh yeah, of course. You know, like there's no
gap.
No, there's no gap. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to share something about your experience here, like
you
know, medicine, being with us, staying with us, and we kind of wrap up with that.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I came here solo, and it's my first time, like I think I had already mentioned this, but my first time doing a trip like this, solo, and then the way in which I'm doing it, kind of following the intuitive guidance, you know, which, there's a certain things I want to do, but it's not like itinerary and you know, it's flowy. And so there's some nerves that come up around doing that, especially like young women traveling alone. I'd not done that before. I only came with a backpack. And when I came here, I felt like I came here with an open heart, but I also wanted to just be mindful, like walking through town, all this, but I feel like just super safe, super held, you know, and then after like 2 ceremonies especially, just like very grounded. And yeah, like I'm not leading from a place of fear, I'm just leading from a place of curiosity, you know what I mean? So I guess that's like worth mentioning. But in terms of like experience with the medicine, I mean, it's funny because I kind of, you know, I had this vision, right? And so it's easy to create a story around why you have to go to Peru and, you know, be with this mountain, and is it for this grander thing and this bigger purpose and all this stuff. And, you know, that could very well be true, but I was sitting with the medicine on Monday at the river, and I, you know, was singing with the river and just being and flowing, and I was I was sitting there, and I almost heard my great-grandmother's voice. I sensed it, you know, of because all this stuff from early childhood has been coming up for me, and I've been like, oh man, like again, I've been working so much with these stories, these old things, and I recognize that, you know, it's a spiral. It always comes back to, you know, some of the same things, but you're ready to go deeper, you know. But I was feeling a little like, oh man, again, you know. And I almost sensed my like great-grandmother's voice being like, I never told you it was going to be anything different, you know. I never said it was going to be all this grandiose, you know, kind of thing. All I said was come, and more will be revealed. So here you are, and this is what's being revealed, you know. And so sometimes this is just for me, my story. It's easier for me to host people, or like show up for people, do things for others. I
for yourself.
Give, you know, and then for myself. And so I started laughing because I was like, yeah, I guess I created that story. You never said nothing about, you know, all of this, you know, stuff I had imagined about the energies and the mountains and the you know, it comes back to the self, and so for me that's meant excavating some of those early childhood wounds again, and re-examining them and disentangling them, and coming back to this place of trust, like we were talking yesterday on Wednesday about trusting and unlocking creative potential, and just doing it for myself, like, and that has been very hard. I can do creative projects when it's for other people, teaching kids, or working on theater projects, or playing in bands, you know, like all of these things that have other people involved that you're responsible to, or there's this relationship with. But then when it comes to creating something for myself, so much harder. And
it's
so
love.
Yeah.
Or luck thereof, you know?
Yeah, and so that was, that's like, you know, that's some of the deep medicine and some of the lessons that I've been sinking into, is just like, yeah, just do things. You can do things for yourself too, you know, like you can create for yourself, and not just because you don't need the structure of like this project that you're contributing to, that other people are relying on you for, and I mean that's beautiful, and I'm always going to love collaborating.
Of course.
But there's also this
It doesn't
desire.
have to be one-sided.
No, it's not one or the
You
other,
know?
but it's just the balance.
Exactly.
And right now it's been so much on this side, and I need to balance it by this, what's sparked within me is a need to create for my own self, and just not even thinking about anyone else, or like how will it be received, or who's going to listen, or who,
Exactly.
whatever.
You do it
It's
for
just
yourself.
for myself, and that has been very tricky
That's-
for me to get to. And so that's been something that the medicine's really been showing me, and really why I think coming here in the first place. It's kind of about me, and it's a little uncomfortable to think that for me, but I'm opening up to it. The medicine's helping me open up to
Beautiful.
that being okay and that being right. And ultimately, I mean, everything's connected, right? We're all connected. So like the more I can feed that for myself and tap into that deep place for me, that's just going to ripple out, and that will affect my descendants. That will, will affect
you
my
contribute.
community. That just affects how I
just-
show up. And, that's the best we can do, really, is just try and be who we're supposed to be, who we're meant to be, and take care
Become
of
a
that.
medicine.
Yeah, just
But
take care of
your
that.
authenticity is the medicine
Yeah.
for you and for other people.
Yes.
So talking about that, when are we going to see your album?
December 21st.
Solstice.
Solstice, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, we shook on that.
so I will add your info
Sure, okay.
to the video description. So
Yeah,
if people want to
I've
contact
committed
you
now,
and kind of wait
Mm-hmm.
for December 21st and get the album and
Yeah.
leave their reviews.
Yeah, that was actually,
know.
that was massive yesterday, to just commit to that and be like, okay,
I'm doing that.
okay, I'm going to do it, and that's, and then there's a date, and then there's a real,
Yes.
a real commitment.
Yeah. It's a real process.
Yeah, so that was beautiful.
And it
So
will
thank you
open
for
new
that. You
doors.
helped me with
Definitely.
getting to that place of just being like, all right, accountable for,
Yeah.
I'm accountable for this, and
That's
just for myself,
because when your goals are abstract,
Yeah,
the results are abstract.
that's true.
You have to be
Yeah.
specific, and
Yeah,
you have to follow your vision and your commitment, and then you just achieve what you want to achieve.
yeah,
And it's very important because that will open up new doors.
yeah,
When that happens, you just will feel better about yourself.
yeah,
So much better. You will be just crying,
yeah,
and then you will remember the ceremony when we talked about this and the whole
Yeah.
process of achieving that, and then the whole new avenue
yeah.
can open up from that point,
Right,
the whole new path.
right.
So that's why I say it's important.
Yeah.
You have to unlock your potential and let it flow
Yeah,
for yourself,
yeah,
not for others, not for any rewards or
right.
benefits. You just feel the urge
Mm-hmm.
and you just let it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the process. That's the respect.
Yeah,
That's the respect to your to your talent,
mm-hmm.
to your creativity.
Yeah,
It tells you something. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, let it out. I want to get it
Yeah.
out. Okay, express. Help me to express it. You
Mhm.
just help to express it.
yeah,
And you feel great about it later.
yeah.
It doesn't matter what people say about it.
And
It
speaking
really
of
doesn't.
medicine, I mean, it's like I really believe that we all have, we have different medicine. They
Mhm.
all, and I think that if we're left to our own devices, we'd find that they perfectly fit in a way.
Mhm.
That we have gifts that each other that this other person doesn't have, and you can work to
It's
put
like
together
nature.
like
You
puzzle.
have big trees, small trees,
Yeah.
bushes, plants, shrubs,
It's human nature.
rocks. You know what I mean?
Human nature,
They all
yeah.
like together
Re-
make a forest.
yes, and we do that
You
too.
know?
Yeah, we do that too with our gifts and our medicine, but we have to get to the place, at least this has been, for me, getting to that place where it's like, okay, I feel comfortable to just share it. It's okay. It's not really me anyway. I feel like when we get into those creative spaces, there's a sort of a channeling that's happening.
It's a
anyway.
channeling, yeah. You
So
channel it.
remove the I from it.
Remove
and
yourself
yeah,
from the
and
flow,
just
in a
recognize
sense,
that
you
there's
know?
this medicine that can come through me, and it's almost like I shouldn't keep that to myself. That's almost like a bit
Selfish.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like it's meant to flow.
It's
It's
meant to be shared.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Wonderful. So I think that's a good way to wrap it up.
yeah.
So maybe final thoughts for people, for young girls, single travelers who want to come to drink medicine with us, maybe something for them.
Well, for one, it's very safe, so I feel like that's worth stating again, because that was, at least for me, a concern, right? It's just not a concern. I felt the energy here before I came, so I thought it was going to be okay, but just confirming that it's safe. It's beautiful. Calca is deeply connected to all of the land around. It's just beautiful. It's like wherever you look, there's something to appreciate. There's flowers to smell.
I call it inescapable beauty.
Yeah, it's like you can't. Yeah, exactly. You can't get out of it.
It's beautiful there. It's beautiful there. It's beautiful there.
There's cows next to my room here that I get to say hello to every morning. There's the mountains all around. Just like the energy of being surrounded by mountains is, I mean, that in itself is healing. Like, come here and even not drink the medicine, and there would be profound shifts that I think would happen. The medicine, of course, is going to just unlock it. But you're going to be you're going to be held. You're going to be held, That feels right. And then having your family here and seeing your daughters and meeting Mercedes, and it's just, it's a beautiful energy that you guys have cultivated here. And with all the medicine all around, being in this cocoon of Huachuma with all the cacti,
it was a cornfield.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Wow. That's,
cornfield and
it's
a vision.
Certainly,
That's it.
Yeah, it's certainly not a cornfield now.
No, certainly not, And that's they're just following your vision. Having your vision and just following it through to its final manifestation. That's what it is.
I could feel that, and you're living it. You're embodying it, and so just being surrounded by, it's like walking through your dream that you had, that you realized.
Yes, I invite you into my dream so you can inspire yourself for your dream.
Exactly.
Which can be different.
Yeah.
But the energy.
Yeah, it's the energy.
Is the same.
The embodied piece of walking through the garden, and I didn't know that it used to be a cornfield, but now that I know that, it makes it even just more.
It's what you see from your window.
Magical.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
It was just part of all the skills.
Yeah. So, that's my pitch for people coming. It's like, come be surrounded by medicine, and then drink the medicine and become the medicine.
Yeah. Exactly. Be the medicine.
Yeah.
For yourself and for the people.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we passed the hour here, so that was a very good conversation. Thank you very much, and I think people will find it informative and inspirational.
Good.
Okay, so I wish you all the best on your path.
Thank you.
And just remember our conversations and remember the experience that you had here. This is yours,
Yeah.
Just never be afraid to be yourself.
Yeah.
And really live life from your heart. That's the way to happiness.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your dream.
Good luck from here.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.